Very good morning to all. Today we can start with a new concept, that is measurement of heat. How to measure the heat when heat is flown from one body to another. That's what we are going to look today. So without being so much of introduction, I am just entering into our concept. So please have a look. Here we are having two bodies, A and B. So A and B are two bodies where A is hotter than B. So A is hotter and A is hot compared to B. So I am just writing A hot body, B cold body. So since A is hotter, the temperature of A we are considering T1 and the temperature of B we are considering T2. So since A is hotter, T1 must be greater than T2. So T1 is here, T1 is greater than T2, and heat flows from A to B. Heat flows from A to B since T1 is greater than T2. So heat flows in the direction of decreasing temperature. Here is the higher temperature. As we are going to B, the temperature is decreasing. So heat flows in the direction of decreasing temperature. That is one of the aspect you have to understand. So when heat is flowing from A to B, A will be losing the heat and B will be gaining the heat. The body B will be gaining the heat whereas A is losing the heat. So after certain time, what will happen? A is losing the heat and B is gaining the heat. Will the process will continue all the time? No, after certain time, the temperature of T1 and the temperature of T2, here T1 is decreasing or temperature of A is decreasing and temperature of B is increasing. So what will happen is A is decreasing and B is increasing. After a certain time, both A and B will be attaining a same temperature or will be attaining equal temperature. Okay, so when A and B are attaining the equal temperature or same temperature, then heat will not flow from A to B. Then heat will not flow from A to B when A and B are attaining the same temperature or common temperature. When A and B are attaining common temperature, then heat energy will not flow from A to B. So in that condition, if A and B are attained a common temperature, then in that stage the heat we can assume that heat flow is stopped. We are assuming that heat flow is stopped. Then in that state we will consider the system as thermally equilibrium. If both body is having common temperature, in that time we say the bodies are in thermal equilibrium. So bodies are in thermal equilibrium if they have a common temperature, and in that point the heat stops flowing from one body to another. So here A is giving the heat or A is liberating the heat. So heat is liberated from A and heat is absorbed by B. B is absorbing the heat. Whereas A is liberating the heat. So A is losing the A is losing the heat. So here what happens? Heat loss is happened. Here what happened? Heat gain is gained. Here heat is gained. Here heat is lost. So A liberated heat whereas B absorbed heat. In another way of telling the same is A lost heat and B gained heat. We know that heat is a form of energy and energy cannot be created nor be destroyed, and it will be a constant. So whatever energy has lost from A will be gained by B. So the loss of the loss of heat by A is equal to gain of heat by B, by body B. So that is one of the important aspect that you have to understand. Whenever a body loses the heat to the surrounding, then the heat lost by the body will be equal to heat gained by the surrounding here, or heat gained by the other body. Here we are considering A and B are the two bodies. So heat lost by A will be equal to heat gained by B numerically. So that we say heat lost is equal to heat gained, or heat lost is equal to heat gain. Now if you are looking at it, the quantity that, then what are the factors influencing the change in heat, or what are the quantities, what are the variables, or what are the factors influencing this flow of heat. Consider we are having a stove, and there are two or else what we can consider. Okay, consider two bowls of water, and we are giving the heat to two bowls of water. We want to boil it. So bowl A and bowl B, we are having two containers A and B. A having the water 2 kilogram, and whereas B are having water in 1 kilogram. So we are started giving heat. We are giving the heat in the same rate. We are not changing the quantity of heat being given in any in unit time. So same amount of heat is given to the both bodies. Where we have to give more heat energy to boil the water, we have to give the more heat energy to the container having 2 kilogram of water. So meaning that the heat absorbed by the body A and body B also, the mass is proportional to the heat absorbed by the body, because when mass increases, heat absorption also increases. More heat can be absorbed by A than that of B, even though A and B are water. Both A and B are water, but to A we have to give more amount of heat, since the mass of A is higher than the mass of B. Okay, so one of the factor is M, mass of the body. So heat lost or heat liberated or heat absorbed by a body depends upon mass. Here both A and B are absorbed heat, but A absorbed more heat than of B because of the mass variation. Now another aspect we are considering, another two container. Okay, so both are having 1 kilogram of water, 1 kg of water, both having 1 kg of water in both containers. Here we are giving heat. Here we have to give heat up to, initially both were at a temperature 27 degrees Celsius. Okay, this one also 27, this one also 27. Here we have to give, here we have to raise up to the temperature 47 degrees Celsius. Here we have to give up to 47 degrees Celsius. Here we have to give up to 57 degrees Celsius. So what is the change here? Change here is 30 degrees Celsius. What is the change here? Change here is 20 degrees Celsius. So here we have changed 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. Here we have changed 30 degrees Celsius. In order to change the temperature, where we have to give more heat, the mass is same and the material is same. What is the material? Water is the material. So even though mass and material are same, here we have to give more amount of heat, since we have to raise the temperature 30 degrees Celsius. So here the change is more. Here the change in temperature is more, so we have to give more heat. So when change in temperature is more, the body either absorbs more amount of heat energy, or the body may liberate more amount of heat energy. For example, if we are decreasing 50 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius, then what is the change in temperature? Then also change in temperature is minus 30 degrees Celsius. So in that time also heat will be liberated more. So whenever the change in temperature is more, heat energy liberated or heat energy absorbed will be more. So the second factor influencing the heat energy is changing temperature. So there are two factors: mass of the body and temperature of the changing temperature of the body. Not the temperature of the body, but you have to say change in temperature of the body. So from on combining mass and changing temperature, we can say heat lost or heat gained by a body is proportional to product of mass and change in temperature. Heat gained or heat lost by a body is equal to or is proportional to mass and product of mass and change in temperature. Gained, we have to say gain, heat gained actually, but we have to say in V3 form. So here we are changing the proportionality constant by multiplying with a constant. So the proportionality sign can be changed by multiplying a constant. That constant we have taken S as the constant. I will tell you what S means. So H is equal to heat energy lost or heat energy gained by a body is equal to product of mass and S, then change in temperature. So simply we say H is equal to ms delta T. ms delta T. This S sometime we can in some book it may be given as C. Actually we use C in order to denote this particular quantity. That particular quantity is called specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity. Usually we denote by the letter C, but in your book it is denoted by S. So I am following the same as your book, but later on I may change to C because we usually say MC delta T. MC, if you are considering it as C, we can say MC delta T. Here we consider as S, so we can say ms delta T. Whether it is S or whether it is C, it is specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity. So this specific heat capacity depends upon the nature of the material of the body. For example, we are having 1 kilogram of water at 27 degrees Celsius, and we are having another body of iron 1 kilogram of mass. So both iron and water is at a temperature 27 degrees Celsius and having mass 1 kilogram each. So both having same temperature and both having same mass. Now from 27 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius as 27 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius, I want to increase the temperature. Both bodies I want to increase the temperature from 27 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius. For that I have to give the heat to the both bodies. So for water also I have to give heat, for iron also I have to give heat, so that the temperature will be raised to 28 degrees Celsius, meaning that the change in temperature is 1 degree Celsius in each case. So in this case, whether I have to give more heat to iron or I have to give more heat to water. which one will be, which of the temperature will be raised easily? If you are giving same amount of heat in unit time to both bodies, okay, then the temperature of iron will be raised quicker than the temperature of quicker than the water. So meaning that that heat energy needed for iron is less than heat energy needed for water. So water needs more amount of heat to raise 1 degree Celsius than the iron to raise 1 degree Celsius. So here this is because of the material difference. Here the materials are different. One is iron and another is water. So when material differs, then the heat energy liberated or absorbed from it is differs, even though its mass and change in temperature are same. When material differs, the absorption or the liberation of heat energy differs. So this S depends upon S is nothing but the factor which depends upon or which influence the heat energy. So that is nothing but the nature of material of the body. So S is depending upon the nature of material of the body, or S is the characteristics of nature of material of the body. The specific heat capacity is the characteristics of nature of material of a body. So when the materials are differs, S differs. So S will be a constant for a single body. If you are considering a particular temperature, S will be constant for water. If for example, if you are considering water and iron, yes, we will be having a particular value of S for water, and we will be having a particular value for the iron. So S varies when the material varies. S varies when the material varies. So from tomorrow onwards we can go more about the this term specific heat capacity. Till now I did not explain it properly. If I am going to explain, then the video will be longer. So today's discussion is H is equal to ms delta T, where m is the mass, S is the specific heat capacity, delta T is the change in temperature. So when heat is liberated from a body or heat is gained by a body, that gain of heat or the liberation of heat can be measured by using the equation H is equal to ms delta T. So whenever heat is absorbed or heat is gained by a body, then we can measure the heat energy. The heat energy absorbed or heat energy liberated is nothing but ms delta T, ms delta T, where m is the mass, S is the specific heat capacity of the body, and delta T is the change in temperature. Delta T is the change in the temperature in Kelvin scale. So thank you.